And now we're back at the membership desk, right? Tour's over. I've got all this valuable information. At this point, one of two things happens. Either they join on the spot, which, fantastic, we love it. Or what we see most frequently is that they say, hey, we'll be back. The dreaded be back, right? And this is the black hole. This is where everything kind of gets lost and broken down. We're tracking things on spreadsheets. We don't really know who's actually getting follow-up phone calls. We hope that we have Rockstar membership teams and they're making all the phone calls. But this is really where the wide gaps or the wide cracks happen and things start falling through them, right? So we're going to go ahead and mark them as a be back. They're gonna return. They're gonna go home, talk to their spouse, and we'll mark that as our status. And now you'll see some really great automation happening. We've now added an engagement plan. So just by adding them to this status of they'll be back, if we come back down here into activity, now we see a bunch more stuff going on. Not only do we have our calls and our tour, but now we have follow-up tasks that are being assigned. So because I'm the person who gave the tour, I now have a task coming up tomorrow to follow up and give them a call and see if they have any questions. And if I don't hear back from them, I am going to have another task the next day that says give them a call. If we don't hear back from them after that, our membership director is going to give them a call and offer them a trial membership. If we don't hear from them again, our fitness director is going to call and invite them in for a fitness assessment. And you can see now that we have these tasks, we have who they're assigned to, and we have a due date. Now we have some really exciting data points because now we know who's supposed to be doing what, when they're supposed to be doing it by, and we have the data points that we can turn all of these into reports, visualizations, dashboards. So now I have some transparency into what's happening on these follow-ups, as well as accountability to make sure that staff are making these phone calls and staff are doing the things that they're supposed to be doing. And that transparency isn't just about the accountability. It's also transparency to other staff, because we all know what happens, right? Johnny goes on vacation next week and this is his lead, and none of this stuff happens because he's the one that was responsible for it and he's gone for a week. Guess what? Your potential member doesn't care who went on vacation. They just know that nobody followed up with them. And so they just assume that they're not really wanted as a member there. So instead, we can assign this lead to someone else. We can assign it to Steph and say, hey, Steph, this is now your lead. You need to pick this up. But now you have transparency from staff person to staff person. Steph can pick this up. She can see the phone calls that were made, the logs from those calls, what emails have been sent, what tasks have been done, when the tour was, things that Leslie is interested in. She can pick up this lead, and without skipping a beat, just like she was the person who had it from day one, she's going to know what's going on and can really just continue moving the ball forward to get this lead back in the door. Let's fast forward a few days. We go through a week and we don't hear back from this member. They're ghosting us. We don't hear back. Maybe it's just not the right time for them right now. But at some point we have to kind of write it off and say, all right, we're not hearing back. This obviously isn't the right time for them, but they were interested enough to come in for a tour and get some information. So we don't want them to forget about us. And we need to refocus our staff's efforts on the other new members that are coming in the door. So we're going to go ahead and drop them into a no join, kind of a lost category. And once we set that as the status, we have some other automations kicking off, and you'll see they're now added to a membership tour drip campaign. So now we're still going to stay top of mind. Your email marketing tool can pick this up, or it can be sent directly out of Salesforce. But now they're going to get an email on a cadence, whatever cadence makes sense to your organization. So maybe every other week or once a month, they just get a newsletter that kind of says, hey, here's what's going on at the Y. Maybe you add them to your direct mail campaigns so that they also get a physical piece in the mail reminding them about the Y. When you have your membership campaign coming up in January, you make sure you're hitting this audience as well, because they showed an interest in your Y at some point in time. So again, we're dropping them into a status where they don't forget about us. We're continuing to stay in touch with them, and hopefully at some point we can re-engage this lead. The alternative path that we hope we hear more often than the be-backs is that they actually join. And that's as easy as clicking convert, and we convert this lead. And this is then where the power of Traction Rec and Salesforce comes into play, where it's checking your database if there's any duplications. If not, it's going to create a new contact and a new household for Leslie. It's going to bring all of this information that we've already collected. So we've already got his address, we've already got his phone number. So all of that's going to be attached to his household. So again, we don't have to re-enter information.